Hey guys, how you keeping? And welcome to Love Futsal. My name's David Haynes and today I'm going to be doing another response video for yourselves, this time loosely themed around equipment. I recently did a mega video, check it out if you fancy it, where I would try to respond to as many questions as possible. It was an hour long and I feel that perhaps it was a little bit lengthy in hindsight. So I'm going to keep this one fairly short and just try and answer 3 or 4 questions. And for those of you that have asked me, I can assure you I will be doing lots more tutorial videos, practical demonstrations, advice about match situations. I myself will be on a futsal court so I can actually teach you and share with you the knowledge that I learned. So if you have asked me to do something specific, don't worry, I have noted it down. I read every comment that I receive on this channel and I have so much planned. I'll be doing 1v1 breakaway situations, how to save penalties, 6 meters and 10 meters, how to best position your body, and I've got a whole series planned. It will literally be a playlist full of videos with techniques and drills you can do to improve your reflexes. I'll also be going through warm-ups, and I'll also be continuing with my physical strength and conditioning training routines that you can do at home playlist. So be sure to hit that subscribe button right now if you want to be a part of this Love Futsal journey. So as I always say, and I think it's really important, everything that I say is merely my own advice, and I draw all of this from my own experience in playing in the National League and lots of futsal. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, then I think that is absolutely brilliant. I think that's really good because it's got you thinking about your game. And if you've got a different viewpoint and would like to share this, please challenge what I say in the comments. Let's talk about futsal. I can talk about futsal all day long if we must. So let's start a discussion. Let's have a bit of an open forum to discuss the best techniques and methods in which to save the futsal, which is why we are all here. So I will try and give you the best advice that I can. Thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it. But if you disagree, comment below. So let's get into it and start talking about equipment. Mohammed Avila has asked me a question. He said, what are the best gloves and whether to use Fingersave gloves or not? Now, this is a good question. And as a goalkeeper, basically you have options. The same way a striker has options in which boots he chooses to wear. There are different brands that supposedly do different things. Same with gloves. Now, I've done a whole video already, check it out, the link is in the description, of barehanded versus fingerless versus full gloves. Now, there are many pros and cons about each one, and I'll tell you now, my conclusion is ultimately it's down to personal preference. But check that video out, it has all the information you need about that. But I will talk about it a bit further in this video. Now, Mohammed specifically asked about Fingersave gloves. Fingersave gloves have a protective strip, like a rigid strip on the back of your hands. I don't know if any of you have played in these in the past. And what they do, they help provide extra support for your fingers and reduce the chances of hyperextension injuries and strains. Now, lots of futsal goalkeepers like to use fingerless gloves or even go barehanded or barehanded with a little bit of tape around their joints. Now, this gives them wonderful control and finger dexterity, and it helps them distribute the ball, and I would say improves their handling overall. I think that's really beneficial, and that's one of the benefits of basically wearing less on your hands. I, on the other hand, like to wear gloves. Now, the reason I like to wear gloves, it helps me with confidence. I think confidence is such a big thing as a goalkeeper. So I feel comfortable in gloves, and it's something that I've always done. Also, I believe actually technically it does give you a bit more grip than bare hands, and I have played in the past where the ball slipped through my hands wearing bare hands, and it wasn't a great experience. So I reverted back to gloves and the ball never slips through my hands, so I do like that increased grip. There's an argument I should be wearing fingerless gloves because you get the best of both worlds. But anyway, watch that other video if you want me to talk about that. I could talk about that all day long. But I choose to wear gloves. Now, I think with Fingersave gloves, there's perhaps a bit too much material. They sometimes can be a bit bulky. I've worn some in the past that are actually very comfortable to wear, and they don't reduce your dexterity all that much. But in my opinion, it may be slightly overkill. It does give you that increased protection, and ultimately it might make you feel comfortable, which really and truly, that's what it all boils down to. If you want to wear Fingersave gloves in goal, then wear them. That is absolutely fine. But be aware there are other options, and it does affect your handling. So really how I want to sum up this question is, you don't need to, but you can if you want. But most importantly, be aware there are other options, and I would recommend you try them. Recommend trying barehanded just one night or for 10 minutes, and then try fingerless Save gloves. You can buy them on Amazon, they're relatively cheap. And then try the full gloves, and then try the Fingersave gloves if you must as well, and play whatever makes you feel comfortable. Because at the end of the day, if you're feeling comfortable and happy, you'll be able to basically forget about the issue and then concentrate on making saves, which is the important thing. So the next question is from Adi Pramudiono. He asked me, I really want to start using certain equipment, like gloves for example, but most of my teammates disagree with my decision, and they say it's bad for me or something like that. What should I do? Now this is a really interesting one. I find it interesting that your teammates are challenging you, because ultimately I think it boils down to the fact that it's your choice. The same way these outfield players get to choose which boots they play in. So I don't think you'll be saying, oh no, you shouldn't wear them boots, you should definitely wear them. So I don't really think, first off, it's their business to really say what you should wear, especially if you feel comfortable in something as opposed to something else. So that being said, advice tends to come from a good place, and advice tends to come from experience. So perhaps they are trying to tell you something, and perhaps there is a benefit in that. So respectfully listen to them, and they might have a really good point, and they might be absolutely correct. So listen to them and maybe try what they're saying, and then at least you've been diplomatic, and it's like, if they don't want you to wear gloves, it's like, try one day not wearing gloves and say, oh, I tried it last week, man, didn't work for me, I hated it, I'm gonna go back to gloves. And then you have a very kind of diplomatic way of saying, yes, I listened to you, yes, thank you for the advice, but no, I'm still gonna do what I want. And that's the important thing, that you feel comfortable in doing what you want. And also, I want to add this here because I think it's really important. Now, the key to really good goalkeeping is, wait for it, your ability, your confidence, your technique, your desire, the way you train, your body, the way you use it, basically all of these details. Gloves, in my opinion, doesn't even come on that list. Buying a pair of $100 gloves, the newest Adidas ones with the grip, will not make you a good keeper. I buy cheap pairs. Some of these are worth $5, $10, £5, £10, and I have rarely ever brought like £100 gloves. Now this is because I know ultimately I just want a bit of protection / grip on my hands, and that's fine by me. And whether I save the next shot or not is down to whether I keep well or not because I don't own those expensive pair of gloves. So I do want to really kind of hammer that home, is I see a lot of people asking me what gloves I wear. Truth of the matter is, I don't care. I really don't care what gloves I wear as long as they give me a little bit of grip. If I find one that makes me a better keeper, then I will shout about it all day long, and I will tell you, and it's like, go out and buy these gloves, they're amazing, they will make you better. But I haven't found that glove yet. I found gloves do a job, which is give you a little bit more grip, and that's good enough for me. So that actually leads on really nicely to my next question. I've got Daniela from Italy asking me, what brand of gloves are best for you? Now, it goes back to what I was just saying, so if you've skipped to this part of the video, just go back a couple of minutes and you'll see exactly what I had to say about this. I think the glove market is incredibly competitive. every brand out there, whether it's Nike, Adidas, All Sport, Sondico, whoever, they all want to make the best glove, and it's in their interest to make the best product that they can in order to sell it. If they're putting out something that's rubbish, people aren't going to buy it, therefore they're not going to make any profit, therefore they're not going to make any money or get good reviews, and it's just bad business. So be aware there are different price bands of gloves. They're your cheap kind of $10 amounts. There's your mid-range $40 to $60 kind of dollar or pounds worth. And there are pro gloves worth about $100. Now these pro gloves do offer a lot more, and I think they're pretty good. I've tried them once or twice, but I've never actually owned a pair, and they do feel like they offer a bit more grip. But what I want to say is any brand, if you compare it with the other ones in its price range, will be similar. So all these pro gloves will be good, regardless who makes them, whether it's Adidas, Nike, All Sport, whoever, those will be good. Anyone in the mid-range, whatever brand, will be good. Not as good as the pros, but they'll all be similar. And any of the cheap ones, they'll all be similar cheap, but they will be okay. So I don't really have enough experience as well. That's also something that I'd like to add. I haven't tried every glove, so I can't really tell you what I prefer. I use All Sport, that brand, and that brand. I think they make really good futsal equipment on the whole. They make really good protective gear. I wear their knee pads and one of their elbow pads, and I have a little bit of brand loyalty to them because I think they understand the requirements of futsal goalkeepers or indoor sport. Basically, they make good padding and goalkeeper equipment. So I quite like their gloves as well. I find they're good value. Not endorsed by them or anything, I'm just saying that's what I tend to use, but I've also used Nike, Adidas, I've used Sondico in the past, and they all do a job. So there are tons and tons and tons of goalkeeper glove reviews on YouTube. So just type that in, goalkeeper glove review 2017, and I assure you, you will get the answer, and more knowledgeable people than me will be able to tell you. So if you're really hung up on this and really want the best pair of gloves and the latest pair of gloves, check that out, and there are a lot better people to kind of give you the advice you need than me. I hope that's kind of helped. That's my view on gloves as well, so yeah, tell me if you disagree or really think that they do make a massive difference. I'd like to hear, that would be interesting to hear in your comments. But yeah, that's my view on what are the best gloves. So that about wraps it up on equipment. I hope you found this useful. Just a couple of my thoughts. Again, comment below. Also, if you have any questions for future videos or want any futsal goalkeeping advice, comment below. It's never too late to ask. This will be a regular series where I'll be just answering questions that I get, whether they're drip fed on random videos, but I'll try to answer as many as I can. So thank you for watching, guys. Safe hands out there, and I will see you soon. Like a Hellcat.